Uh, Corrali, is that how you say it?
You can call me C.
C? Okay, thank you for
Yeah.
waiting patiently. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for allowing me to join your live. I definitely appreciate this topic because I literally saw this on the Shade Room or the Neighborhood Talk, and I know that's not like a reliable source of information, but when I saw that video, I literally felt so bad, and I was thinking to myself like, why did these men not do anything? And I know like a lot of factors came into play. So I started doing like the scenario in my head. Like, okay, so she told him no. And then what happened in between them, like between when she told him no and then he picked up the brick. That's why I was like, wait a minute, something must have went on. Like as soon as she said no, why didn't she walk away? You know what I'm saying? Like why did she wait for him to actually she saw him hold the brick and she didn't walk away? I feel like there's more going on to this story and I just wanted to like see what you guys thought about that. Because for me, I feel like there's more to the story than she's letting on. Because of course she's gonna like, do a live and say, oh, I've been attacked just to let you know what happened to me. But I feel like there's probably more to the story that we don't know. We're just going based off of what she's saying, if
Right.
that makes sense.
No, I
Um,
hear what you're saying, ma'am. But at the end of the day, if she didn't physically strike any of these men or whether they were boys, there's no justification for a brick being thrown at her face. She could have
No,
said
yeah,
she
yeah,
could have
no, I'm
said
saying
the
like
most
that.
she could have
That's
said the most
horrible. Like,
vile thing. She could have said the most vile thing to these men. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. There's no justification about the brick being thrown at her face. That's not the discussion here. She said verbatim out of her own mouth that she was more so disappointed that the men around didn't step in and do anything to this man that threw the brick at her face. They allowed this man to get in his car and drive away. That's the discussion that we're having here.
yeah, okay. So at this point, then, I feel as though as a collective, then the black men that were there, I don't know if they were black because that's what they were saying in the comments. Like they were black men. I feel like the black men that kind of did nothing, then they definitely should have like at least video recorded, try to get the license plate of the guy that went away. That way they could have called the cops and be like, hey, this guy struck this woman. Because I know there's some men out there, they don't want to get involved. Like I've even had discussions with my husband, my dad, and then I asked them, I'm like, Dad, like, what would you do if you saw a woman in the street getting like abused by her husband or boyfriend, whatever? And my dad like said no, he wouldn't get involved. I'm like, Dad, like, why not? Like my heart sank to my stomach when my dad told me that because it's like, how are you as a man not gonna defend a poor innocent woman that's getting like beat on? You know what I mean? So like, I get it, but there's other things that those men could have done to kind of at least get the perpetrator that even threw the brick in her face in the first place. You know what I
So Is,
mean?
is, is calling the police enough?
I feel like getting evidence is enough. Calling the police would be great, like attending to her, like her needs, like, because a break is serious. Like he could have killed her.
So
Like
so
he
do,
seriously
wait, do
could have
you do
killed
you
her.
do you think calling do you think a man calling the police is enough, or do you think that's not enough?
I feel like it should be enough. Yes. Not just stand there and not do anything. Because now the perpetrator, he's gone. He's gonna do this against another woman.
So
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 it's like
so
I feel
so
like
so you
calling
think you're disappointed that your dad. Do you have any siblings?
I have an older brother and a younger sister.
Okay. How old are you, ma'am?
I'm 30.
Okay. So if you were 13 years old and your dad stepped in and your dad lost his life because of this, would you still have been disappointed if you wouldn't have stepped in?
No, I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be
Okay.
because I know he defended someone that couldn't be defended.
Okay. I respect that.
So that's what I mean. Like I feel like there's more that we can do because if they would have caught the guy, it would have been like justice, like yes, but now this guy's gonna go out and commit more crimes, even worse than that. Because they literally let him get away with it. I don't know if they're like, there's an investigation going on right now. I don't know. But chances are they probably might even get him. And it's sickening. Like it's sickening. Like there's men out there that are hurting women based off of a no. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why can't some men just be like, all right, it's cool, shorty, I got you, it's okay. Like, no, some will actually like physically harm just for the word no. That's why I was like saying in the beginning, like, what transaction happened for him to reach to that point? I'm not saying it was her fault. I'm just saying like what led up to that point where he's picking up the brick when she said, no, it's okay, I can't give you my number, like just for that reason alone, like it doesn't make any sense. Like, why would he hit her just for saying, no, I can't give you my number? What if she had a boyfriend? What if she had a girlfriend? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if she had like a significant other? Like, for him to pick up the brick and actually try to almost kill her potentially, like it's disheartening, you know?
Yep.
So that's just my opinion, you know. Like, I definitely appreciate you letting me join the live and giving my opinion on this, because it was definitely like, you know, sad to see that this woman got attacked just for like telling a guy, no, I can't give you my number, you know. And I know like a lot of people saying, oh, you should just give the Google Voice number, you know, because that's what I've done actually in the past. I've given guys Google Voice numbers, because there will be men that will literally tell you to call their phone number right then and there in front of them. Because
Right.
if you do not give them your real number right then, you don't know what can happen next, you know?
Right.
So it's kind of,
So as a woman, when you know that men are doing those things, and just the sad truth is that it's a toss up in 2023, that you don't know how a man is going to react when you reject him. It's probably within your best interest to just assume and act and move accordingly, like he is going to be an unhinged man, and
exactly.
not try to fight it. Only a stupid
Exactly.
only a stupid person, only a stupid woman is going to try to fight something like that. That's why you have Google numbers. That's why you have text app numbers. And that's why at the end of the day, there is a block. You can block people. So even if he calls the phone in front of you, even if he hits you up later, you can block him.
Yes. Because I've seen a lot of like worse scenarios.
A lot of these women are very combative, right? They're very combative and argumentative. So they're going to come up here and try to fight. They're going to try to fight the reality of the world that we live in, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate, because I've seen like when I used to do the nightclub life, you know, like, you know, the let go, you know, the after parties. I've seen like little arguments, like physical fights happening just because the girl wouldn't dance with the guy or wouldn't give him her number, you know, that sort of thing. And I was even hearing like stories back then, a long time ago, where a girl got shot in the club just because she told the man no, she didn't want to dance with him. Like, it's like you almost have to like be in a fight or flight instinct, but most of the time I choose flight, because I'm gonna run. Like, I'm sorry, I know that sounds like, oh, she's a scaredy cat or whatever, but I'm running, or I'm gonna choose the best case scenario in my head. What can I do to de-escalate the situation from going any worse? Because I'm not going to end up in the hospital or in the morgue, or, you know, like, I'd rather just, okay, let's see what he wants. Okay, he wants my number. Okay, here's my number. And then when I get home, I block him, you know, like, at least that's like the safest scenario. I know it sucks that I have to do that. Like, I shouldn't have to, but you don't know what someone's reaction can be when you tell them no.
Yeah, exactly. So,
So,
Pirelli, look, I appreciate you being up here. Look, I don't ask people to do favors, but you know, you seem like you have like a good head on your shoulders, and just do me a favor and just please advise other women to do the same thing, okay? Because
okay.
you know they got a lot of other argumentative, combative women that you know want to like have these women, you know, throw the coin up in the air and possibly end up in the morgue, possibly end up getting a brick thrown at their face when they could easily just make it home safe and block the guy. So just please do me a favor, since you have a straight head on your shoulders, and advise other women to do the same thing. I would very much appreciate it.
No, I definitely would. And I always tell my younger sister that too. Like, don't argue, don't fight back, because you never know if these guys might have a gun on them, a knife, or whatever. Just, you know, give them the number and then block them. Like, I know a lot of people in the comments are like, no, you're victim blaming, but I'm really not victim blaming. It's almost like you need to have common sense when you're outside in the streets, because you don't know what that person's reaction can be. Like, I feel like people always trying to do this whole cancel culture thing, because whenever you don't like side with what people are saying, like what the majority of people are saying, they automatically try to cancel you. And it's like, no, it's common sense. If you see a guy that's like, oh, give me a number, you need to call me right now, you automatically have to be like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna give him my fake Google number and call it a day, because I'm not gonna get punched in my face for saying no. I'm not doing that. It's not victim blame. It's called common sense. I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm not gonna like, oh, why? No. Okay, here's my number. As soon as I get home, block. That's it. So I'm gonna tell all the rest of these women too, like, stop trying to like at me or whatever and be like, oh, you're victim blaming. Oh, you're not one of us. She's a pick me. I'm not. This is just like common sense. I've seen it. I witnessed it firsthand. Like, men will punch you. Some men will do that. So I'm like, oh hell no. I'm definitely gonna well, I'm get his number and I'm gonna block him.
Listen, you're not going to get through to combative women, okay? A lot of these women are women that actually fight men. they're in relationships to where they're actually getting into physical altercations with, you know, men that they date, men that they're in relation. You're not going to get through to these women, okay? But to the
Yeah.
woman that you are going to get through to, just worry about them. I appreciate
Okay.
you being up here. You have a good night, all right?
All right. Thank you. You too.